Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to How to Write a Book, Episode 2, Edit and Create Cover. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. This is if you guys follow along, we'll go ahead and learn how to go ahead and edit your book today. We'll go ahead and learn how to create a cover. A lot of you are wondering how I created these covers for my book, specifically this one from Shepherd to King. This is the one that looks all glossy. It looks very cool with the nice photo of David, with the nice painting. I guess you should say. I guess it's a painting. So how I got this cover created, I'm gonna show you all that today. So at this point, if you haven't seen episode 1, watch episode 1 where you're getting started. At this point, you feel like you're done. You feel like you've written your book and now you need to edit it and create a cover. And that's what we're going to go ahead and get into today. So let's go ahead and follow along. Again, if you haven't seen the first video, go ahead and go back, watch the first video, episode 1. This is going to be episode 2, edit and creating a cover or create cover. All right. So number 1, you got to edit your book. So you have to find an editor or get some edit yourself. But again, usually after writing so long and having a bunch of pages already written by yourself, you think it's good. You think obviously you think yourself you think your book is really good. You think that you did the best that you could and that you think it's amazing. So in your eyes, obviously you think it's good to go. But it's important to get some fresh eyes. It's important to get a new perspective. It's important to go ahead and get your book looked at by somebody else. So, you should get someone to edit your book or share a fresh perspective. You can find an editor online. There's a bunch of editors online nowadays. There's a bunch of websites. You can just Google them. Not really going to get into that, but you can go ahead and find a bunch of editors online. They'll go ahead and edit your book. You send it to them. They'll edit it. They'll send it back. Or you can have someone you trust edit your book. What I did is I had some, I gave it out. I gave out my book to a couple of people, for them to edit it, to go ahead and look over. I have people that I trust that I know would take the time to actually edit my book. So that's what I did. Again, it's if you want to go ahead, not that my book's grammatically perfect or not that my books are 100%, grammatically perfect or nothing like that. Maybe they still have a couple of errors in them, but overall, again, you can find an editor online or you can give your book to someone you trust to edit your book. Now, before you find someone online, obviously do your research. You can go ahead and look into other editors. Make sure they have a good track record, whether it's a website or something like that. So make sure to do your research. Multiple edits are needed. So when you are getting your books edited, sometimes it's going to take more than one edit. You give your book to someone, you think that once they edit it, it's perfect. Reread your book. Obviously it's going to take a lot of rereading, self-editing as well. And then even when you give it to somebody else to edit it, it doesn't mean it's perfect, right? You should give it to after that person edits your book, give it to somebody else and let them edit what the other person edited or just reread your whole book and, make sure everything's good to go. So after finally editing your book, you finally, after everything is done, you finally edited your book. You think it's perfect. You're for sure this time that it's perfect and good to go. It's time to create a cover. So, uh, I use Canva.com. Canva, this is their logo right here. Canva is really cool. It's free. You can use a bunch of images off of Canva that are free, or you can pay for the subscription, which I don't think is that expensive, which gives you access to more images, which is again worth your while if you're going to be creating a lot of content, not just for books, but if you're trying to create content for YouTube, try to create content for like flyers. They have a bunch. We're going to go ahead and get into Canva in a little bit. So I'll show you everything that they have to offer, kind of like my review of Canva. But I love Canva. It's really easy to use. It's not too hard. Specifically, obviously this video is about creating your book. We're gonna go ahead and get into some other stuff, show you the other features as well. But Canva.com is amazing. Find the right dimensions for your book. We'll kind of get into that in just a moment. and get creative, right? Get creative, create a cover. This is my first book, which I showed you guys already. Process the Key to Living in Christ. Now, this book I made off of Amazon. Right. So Amazon is where I self-published. And we'll kind of go ahead and get into that, later, into another video. We'll go ahead and get into the whole publishing thing once you created your cover, once you edited your book. We'll go ahead and get into the whole publishing thing later in the next video. But for this book, we're just going to go ahead and talk about editing and creating your cover. So I made this cover here off of Amazon. Amazon has itself, when you publish through Amazon, self-publish, you can also create a cover through Amazon. But it's pretty basic. I mean, as you can see, this is like it's like I want it to look like red brick because you're building your life with Jesus. You're building your life with Jesus. You're going through your process, and so you're building something, right? So that's the whole intention behind my book, why it looks the way it looks for my first book. Now this is without Canva, right? Pretty nice, pretty basic. I love red. My favorite color is red, so I wanted to make my first book red, so that's why. Now with Canva, I got more of it looks more professional. It looks more, again, this is more of a glossy cover. This is more of a, beautiful painting of David. It looks a lot cleaner, it looks a lot nicer. This is with Canva, right? So it's a huge difference. Again, it's just experience. Obviously, these videos that I'm making for you are for you to go ahead and save time. Telling you things I wish I would have known, right? So, we're going to go ahead and get into Canva in just a short moment so I can show you how it works and how to create your cover. So again, let's go ahead and get that started here. And then patience is key, right? It's kind of picture of this guy. It's kind of made me laugh here. Patience, this guy's like, his head's getting huge, his neck's kind of like shrunken, and his head's getting big. He's like waiting so much, waiting so bad to go ahead and get his project done, and he's kind of flipping out. It's pretty funny to me. But yeah, you don't want to be like this guy, right? You want to go ahead and just take it easy. Don't forget as you write your book, if you haven't finished writing your manuscript, continue writing. Editing is going to take a while as well. It's not going to happen right away. Continue to be patient. Sometimes you may need to go back and edit some stuff, right? So whether it's your cover, whether it's your manuscript that what your book's about, sometimes you're gonna have to go back when you think you're done. You may have to go back and edit some stuff. It happens. It's okay. There's no rush, right? Take your time and do a good job. All right, take your time. Patience is key. So let's go ahead and get into Canva. All right, let's go ahead and get into Canva. So this is Canva. If you go to canva.com, this is what it looks like. Canva.com. This is my account here. Hence the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals logo. That's my team. And Arizona Cardinals is my team as well. Cardinal Nation. That's what I like to say. Um, but yes, this is canva.com. So Canva's pretty cool because once you create a profile with them, again, not signing up for the premium subscription, nothing like that. Just create a profile with them. It's free. And it says it right here, free. It'll let you know. It'll let you know that you're using the free account. But that's fine. You can try Canva Pro. Now, if I click on Canva Pro, it's going to say start your free trial. It's going to let you know you have access to a bunch of premium photos, millions of photos. You can do a bunch of stuff. Now, you don't need that, right? You don't really need the premium subscription, even though I think it's probably really cool and you may have access to a lot of stuff. And we'll kind of get into what the benefits are of having the premium account. Once we start using the free account, you'll see what you don't have access to. But let's go ahead and continue looking at what they have. So they have templates. So for example, Canva is really cool for a bunch of things, right? If you want to use some stuff for social media, videos, you want to use marketing, you want to do presentations, whiteboards. You can click on the top tabs up here for the menu items. If you want to do something for business, if you want to go ahead and design, you can click on templates on the left here, and it'll go ahead and give you a bunch of templates. You're trying to go ahead and make some flyers. If you want to make a resume, if you want to make a presentation, some logos, click on social media, Facebook post, Instagram post. It's really, really multifaceted. You can go ahead and use a bunch of stuff on Canva. But again, for the purpose of this video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about creating your cover, right? So the way it works is that when you create your cover, it really depends on having your final manuscript done, right? So once your book's done, your manuscript, and if you don't know what I mean by manuscript, it pretty much means your book. So again, this is my manuscript from Shepherd to King. This is my manuscript. It is about 169 pages. It's about 21,000 words, which shows it down here, at the bottom left corner. You probably can't see it right now because my face is probably blocking that right now. But okay, when you use Word, it'll show you at the very bottom left corner how many pages you have. So again, this is your manuscript. This is what I'm talking about. This is pretty much your book. Your table of contents, about the author, however your book looks like, introduction, all this stuff, the first chapter, lesson one, so forth and so on. So once you have your book pretty much done in terms of your manuscript, I'm gonna let you know why that's important. So when you have your manuscript done, you're gonna go ahead and again, this is assuming you're gonna self-publish through Amazon like I did, right? So I'm showing you what I did. You're gonna go ahead and go to Amazon. If you don't have a profile with Amazon, you can create a profile with Amazon. It's totally free. And you're gonna go ahead and go to Google or go to your Amazon. You pretty much have to go to Google and you're gonna type in create a paperback cover, KDP. And KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. So that's what this is here. It's gonna say create paperback cover. Again, everything that I'm doing is for a reason. So just keep following along. It'll make sense. So create a paperback cover. You're gonna go ahead and scroll down. And you're gonna go ahead and get to where it says setting your cover size. You're gonna click on that. It's gonna take you to this page, and it's gonna say here. It's gonna say cover calculator and template generator. You're gonna click on that. And this is where it gets really important, guys. This is why that you need Amazon KDP to go ahead and put in this information to then create your cover on Canva. You can't just create your cover on Canva. You can, but it may not be the right size, right? So we're looking if you're gonna go ahead and self-publish through Amazon, you're gonna need to follow these steps, right? So it's gonna say, what type of book do you want? Hardcover or paperback? Let's say paperback. Interior type. What type of color do you want for your pages inside? Are they white? Are they standard color? Premium color? It just usually just do black and white. It's pretty much the regular go-to. Paper type. Cream paper, white paper. You can have a cream paper colored. My first book, it's cream. This is, I don't know if you can't really tell on the camera, but this is kind of cream color. So it's, just a regular cream color with black lettering. For my second book, it was white. So this is how it looks for it's white and black lettering, right? So it's up to you, either or. So let's just say for the purpose of this video, we'll go ahead and just do white paper. Paper turn direction. So do you want your papers to turn left to right like a regular book, or do you want to go ahead and do right to left? So we're going to go ahead and just choose left to right. Paper turn direction. Right to left, left to right. Yes, you're turning your pages left to right. So yeah, yes, okay. Sorry, just had a brain fart there. Yes, left to right. Measurement units. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go ahead and just put inches. Let's put inches. And then you're gonna go ahead and put trim size. Okay, so this is where it gets really, really, really important. So your inches, and you're gonna go ahead and put trim size. So what size do you want your book? Now, just for reference, this is a 6x9. My first book is about a 6x9. It's like the size of a regular book, 6x9. Usually 6x9 is what usually people mostly get. 6x9 standard. So that's the size of this book here. In comparison, this book, my other book, is a little bit smaller. So I believe my other book was about 5x8. So if I put them side by side, you can see that the red one is a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, and a little bit wider as well. If I put them in front of each other, the red kind of sticks out on the side here. So the red one is bigger than my other book, right? Than this from Shepherd to King book. So again, just in a side-by-side comparison, this is what it looks like. So if you think you don't want your book a little bit, too big, then again, 5x8 or 5.25 or by 8 or 5.5 by 8.5 it's a better size for you. Again, 6x9 is standard. But I chose this one to be believe I chose this one to be about 5.5, 8.5, or 5.8, um, around there. So that's the size of this book here, just for reference. But again, for the purpose of this video, this is just an example. So I'll go ahead and choose 5.8. Okay, now number of pages at your formatted trim size, right? So how many pages is your book? So when you look at your manuscript, again, if you're using a Word doc, at the bottom left corner, you'll go ahead and see the amount of pages. So for this, again, for the purpose of this video, we'll go ahead and say our book is about 200 pages. And right here, you're going to go ahead and click Download Template. And, well, maybe first you have to click Calculate Dimensions first, sorry. There it is. So calculate dimensions first. And then you're going to hit Download Template. Now, this is going to go ahead and download something to your computer. And at this point, it's going to open up a image and another type of image, kind of like a PDF, kind of. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at that image. So this is the image that you're going to get, that you're going to use for Canva. And that's why it's extremely important for you to put the right page count and the right size of your book that you want it to be. So depending on what that stuff is, and again, it's up to you. For the purpose of this video, we did 5x8 or 8x5, I guess, 5x8, and we did 200 pages. So this outline is what you're going to use on Canva. So what we need to get to Canva, to go ahead and put this on Canva, is this image. Now, again, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. You're going to go ahead and click on the HTML document version. So go ahead and click on that. It's going to open up like another pretty much like another website, but it's going to show you the same image. As you can see, it's up here, kind of like if I'm opening up a tab for just like this, right? It's going to go ahead and show you the size of your book. Again, this is the image that you need. Now, what you need to actually get is the actual size in landscape, right? Because if you go to Canva and you go ahead and scroll up and you go ahead and hit, one moment here. So I need to go ahead and go to the homepage, canva.com. You're going to go ahead and click custom size. Now, if you look at this image, you're going to be like, oh, okay, my book needs to be 5x8, right? Or 8x5 or 5x8. So you go to Canva thinking that, and you go ahead and go custom size, and you put 5x8. And again, and that is in inches, and that's what you put down, right? You put 5x8. And you think that's right, and you hit create design. But as you can see, it's just showing you the front cover. But you don't only need the front cover, you need the whole book, right? You need the front side and the back side. This right now is essentially just showing you this. But you also need to create this. And you need the trim on the middle as well. So this technically is incorrect, right? Just letting you know. So what you actually need is the actual dimensions of your whole book from the cover, which is this side, to the middle, to this side. So technically you need the whole landscape. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So when you go ahead, again, this is where I'm at right now. This is what you're looking at. Again, this got downloaded to your computer, and now you pull open not the JPEG, but the other. Again, it opens up like a tab, like another website tab. This is where you're at here. When you get to this point, you're gonna go ahead and click on Document Properties. And as you scroll down, you'll see it right here, page size, 10 by 10.69 by 8.25, landscape. That's exactly what you wanted to say, landscape. So again, if you have a post-it note, you can switch between two tabs, or if you have something to write down with, go ahead and just type, write that down, 10.69 by 8.25 inches. Landscape. That's perfect. That's exactly the dimensions we need to go ahead and put that onto Canva. So if I go back to Canva and I'm back in inches, again, if you're on Canva, the homepage, you're going to go to custom size. On the width, you're going to go ahead and put 10.69. Height, you're going to go ahead and put 8.25. and you're going to go ahead and hit create design. And then that's going to go ahead, oh, sorry about that. That's going to go ahead and create the landscape that you need. Just want to make sure I'm pulling that up here. All right, just want to make sure I'm pulling that up there correctly there. Okay, sounds good. So again, 10 by 0.69 by width, 8.25 by height. And again, how did we get that? When you open up the document that you downloaded, you open up the web file. Takes you to this image here. You click on these three buttons here, and you get to document properties. If you have a Mac, I believe if you hit Control I or Command I or one of those, I believe, or if you go to the file page when you get the image, you should be able to go to properties or document details, something like that, and then it'll go ahead and tell you the same thing. So document properties, and you're looking for this right here. Perfect. Now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and go back to Canva. Now that we implemented it, perfect. Now that you put that in here, what we do need to go ahead and get is this photo or this pretty much template onto Canva. So what you do is you go ahead and go to uploads, and I already have it here because I already downloaded it before. You go ahead, oh, I clicked it twice. You go ahead and click it, and there you go. Now it's up there. Now you just you put them to corner. You extend the template. All right, perfect. And you can go ahead and zoom in a little. All right, awesome. So now you have your template. Now, at this point, your template's going to serve you as a guide. Eventually, at the very end, you're going to go ahead and delete your template because it's just there to guide you. Now, you may be wondering, what are these red lines for? What is this black line for? Again, all that information tells you, all that information is pretty much right here on the template. So this is where your book will be cut to produce the final trim size, the black solid line, just the trim size there. The blue dashed line in spine fold, this is where the book's going to fold, the blue dotted line. The white area is where you can go ahead and design whatever you want. The red area is out of live or slash bleed. Your background artwork must be fill in the red area. Do not place logos, text, or essential items in the red area. Again, that's pretty much just letting you know what's going on here. This is the template. So you pretty much want to stay within these red lines, especially when it comes to text. All right. So again, at this point, you're going to go ahead and start filling in the type of cover you want. So let's say you're talking about, just for this, again, just an example for this video. You want to go ahead and create a cover about, let's see what I have already on my photos or my uploaded photos here. Let's take a look. Let's say uploads. Okay, let's say you want to make a book on being a Roman or a Spartan, right? Let's say you wanted to be Spartan, right? You're writing a book about being a Spartan. So it's pretty cool about what's cool about Canva is you can go here and search images. So you can go to elements and then you go ahead and put Spartan. Now, if you get all these images here that you can use. Now, if it has a little gold crown, it's going to let you know it's, hey, you need the pro membership to go ahead and use this image. But if it doesn't have a crown, then you can still use those images for free. So for example, you want to go ahead and let's go ahead and look for a free image, right? Let's say just for the purpose of this video, let's go ahead and pick one of these free ones here. Now there's again, without the without the pro membership, you don't really have a lot to choose from, right? So that's where the pro membership comes in handy because after you pay for the pro membership, you can use all these images that have the little crown on them. So depending on your book, depending how good you want it to be, whether if it's worth it to you, go ahead, pay for the pro membership to get these images. Now there are other websites online where you could also get free images. Again, do your research. For the purpose of this video, again, I'm just showing you what I did specifically, which is just use photos from Canva, stuff like that. Um, but for the purpose, again, for this, just as an example, we're going to go ahead and use this image right here. It's not the most beautiful image, but we'll go ahead and just use this image. So now you're going to go ahead and place this image wherever you want. So again, this is your front cover right here on the right side. So this is your front cover. You're going to go ahead and put it here. And then what you're going to do with the background, whatever you click on is what's going to focus on, right? So if you see a blue outline around your image, that means that's what you're technically focusing on at the moment. If you click on your cover or template, that's going to then have a blue outline on the sides. Now, what you want to do is lock your cover outline or your outline, your template. You want to lock it. Locking it means it's no matter what you do, no matter what you touch to it and you move it around, it's not going to move it. It's not going to move. It's not going to, get messed up. So you want to lock it. And now let's start adding some images. So if you want to talk about, for this example, again, we're talking about just, being a Spartan soldier back in the day. That's what your book's about. So you can go ahead and click an image, put it there, boom. Now let's say you need a title for your book, obviously, right? So you go to text here and you add a heading. And then you move that and you put it, you can make it a little smaller. And you can put it here. And let's say your title of your book is going to be Soldier Life. Boom. And you can have a title here. And then you could also have a subtitle. And you put Life as a Spartan. Right. And you could also, obviously, if you click on the font, you can go ahead and change the font and highlight it. You can go ahead and change the font up here. Right here, when you click this, you can make the font different. It'll go ahead and change the font. So let's go ahead and just put this one. Boom. It'll change it. Right. You can make it italicized. You can go ahead and you can make the font bigger size here. Again, go ahead and mess around with it. It's going to go ahead and be something you're going to have to get used to. So just mess around with it. Takes a little practice. This is just an example. Again, life as a Spartan. Boom. All right. And then you want to put your name here. If you want to put it in a subheading, you can. By your name is, let's go ahead and, for example, my name is Carlos Puriel. That's I'm the author. You don't even have to put by, you can just put your name at the very bottom and people will know it's by you. So you can go ahead and just put that down here. Boom. So again, right now we're just putting this book together and you're like, well, it looks okay, I understand, but what if I want to go ahead and what if this cover is just kind of like this template? It's just getting in my way. I want to see what it looks like without the template. So I'm glad you mentioned it. So let's go ahead and click on the template and let's unlock it. And this button right here looks like a checkerboard. That's kind of like fading away. It looks like a checkerboard. It's called transparency. So if you click it, you can pretty much make it transparent. And as you start to see me moving it to the left, the template starts to fade. If you go to zero transparency, boom. This is what it looks like. This is what your book's going to look like, so forth and so on, right? That's what it's going to go ahead and look like as of right now. But if you want to go ahead and put the transparency back, you can go ahead and put it back a little bit so that way it's not in your way, it's not standing out right in your face or bright in your face. You're trying to work on your book and you want to make it transparent, that's no problem. Then you could go ahead and lock it and you're set. Now you've locked it at that transparency. So now you can go ahead and work on your book without the template really getting in your way. Now, for the middle, spine of your book, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to go ahead and add a small body of text. You're going to go ahead and put, right, soldier life, and then you can go ahead and put maybe a colon, life as a Spartan. And then you're going to go ahead and put this as your spine. Now, before you put it as your spine, you got to go ahead and make it smaller, or you're going to have to go ahead and make it longer to go ahead and fit your spine. So put it like that. And then you're going to go ahead and turn it around like this. And then again, you're gonna have to make it, you may have to make the font a little bit smaller so that way it can fit the spine. Because again, remember, no text should be on the red. There should be no text hitting the red. So then you're gonna go ahead and put that in. Boom. Now, if that is a little bit too big, you can change the font here, make it a little bit smaller. Boom. Boom. Now you have your spine done. Soldier life, life as a Spartan. And then you can go ahead and move this up more. And then you can go ahead and add another one and then put your name. Just like this, but you put it right here. It's the same thing. Add a subheading or add a smaller body of text. And then you just put your name, Carlos Uriel. And then you're going to go ahead and, again, move it over here first so that way you can see it better. And then turn it around like this. Make sure it's straight, 90 degrees. Extend it a little bit, maybe. Again, if the font is too big, you might have to go ahead and, make the font a little bit smaller. And then you just go ahead and move it over. Boom. And that's how you create the spine. And as you start going and you start going, and you start getting more used to it, you can start, again, take your time. There's no rush, right? You're creating your cover. You want it to make it look as beautiful as possible, right? And then as you start going on, you start adding stuff to it, right? So again, on the back of my books, I have a little section where I'm talking about the book, what the book's about. I have a photo of myself, and then I have a little description about who I am. And again, that starts coming along with Canva and also as the Amazon. Once you finally are done with your cover, you're ready to upload your cover, you're ready to go ahead and self-publish your book. We're going to go into that into the next video, and I'll show you how to do all that other stuff that you need to do to self-publish your book through Amazon. But again, for this video, it is just talking about creating the cover. Start messing with it. Again, start messing with it. You have a bunch of elements. You can go ahead and do photos. You can go ahead and do text, some different types of text. You don't even have to use this. This is kind of a boring soldier life text. You can do something fun. You can do something like this, and you can go ahead and possibly, make it more colorful. Again, the sky's the limit. Canva's really cool in giving you a lot of options that are really free, to be honest with you. Um, when I did the From Shepherd to King book, how I got this photo was from Canva. And again, some images are better than others. I'm not saying Canva has the best images or free images, but some images come out pretty cool. So those images you can go ahead and, for example, let's say if we just type in chef, right? So like you can this image right here or this image right here, you can actually, oh, didn't mean to move that. This image, you can actually use this image on your book. Like it's actually an image of a shepherd. Like I could have used this image. It's free. I could have used this image if I wanted to, right? And you keep looking here. Eventually I was able to, again, it takes time. I eventually found this image here that I really liked for my book, and that's how I used it. And I put it on, just like I showed you guys. I put it on here, and then I was able to go ahead and just, um, finish up the book and create my cover. Again, once you start texting, once you have everything that you need and you're talking about your book in the back, this is where you're going to put like about, start talking about the book, type whatever you need. It's go on, just like this, just like what it looks like back here. You're adding text, you're talking about your book, you're talking about yourself, you add a photo. Now, adding the photo, that comes later on. So you technically could add the photo and then add the text here. So this is pretty much what you do. This is the photo I used for my book, and then you can go ahead and add it here. Um, Now, if you've noticed, again, this doesn't look great at all, right? But it's because I'm doing it real fast. You take the time, you put it in the effort, be patient. Like I mentioned, it's going to turn out really, really great. So again, take your time. Mess with Canva. Again, I'm not saying Canva is the best to go for a cover creator. I'm not, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not endorsed. I'm not getting paid by Canva. I'm just letting you know what I did and what worked for me. So again, as you create these images and as you go ahead and, put a photo of yourself, and then you can go ahead and put you add a little text, right? Put right here to the side, and then you can just start typing, right? You just start typing, Carlos is a, um, you can write whatever you want. What I put on mine is Carlos is a husband. He's a leader at church. He's a son. Carlos enjoys spending time with his family. And whatever you want, you can put that about the author stuff. You can, again, sky's the limit. Do however, write your book, design your cover the way you want to do it. That's what I enjoy about this process is that although it's long and it takes a lot of work, in the end, it's worth it. It's worth it, guys. So don't give up. Again, finally, when you're done with whatever your cover looks like, again, this is just an example. What you're gonna do is go ahead and take a look at your cover. Once you're done with your cover, you're going to go ahead and take this and you're going to delete the image. Boom, it's gone. And this is what your cover is going to look like. Then when you're done, you're going to go ahead and save it. You're going to go ahead and download, and you're going to go ahead and save it to go ahead and most of the time people save it as a PNG or a JPEG. I like to save it as a PDF. Now, we'll go ahead and get into the next video about the different options. As I remember, I believe I saved it as a PDF. And then once you save it, it's going to go ahead and you may have to save it as a JPEG as well. I think I did both. So once you save it, it's going to look like this on your computer, and you're going to just attach it to your computer. So you can just save it, desktop. I just save it to my desktop. And then once you get to, I think I just pretty much did the same thing I just did. But yeah, so you save it as a JPEG or a PNG, and then you also save it as a PDF just as a backup, just in case as well. And then we'll go ahead and put all the book together and self-publish on Amazon. And I'll show that in the next video. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Again, this was a quick video, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, drop down in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And we'll go from there, okay? I'll see you guys in the next video.